president continues to act on his own, he is going to poison the well. When you play with matches, you take the risk of burning yourself. And he's going to burn himself if he continues to go down this path. The American people made it clear Election Day.
All the bang and bluster is making little difference. President Obama seems determined and will go forward with his immigration amnesty edict, no matter what John Boehner or anybody threatens. But is he bluffing? And if not, is this a presidential mandate that, as some have stated, is completely irreversible? Let's welcome back to MidPoint, nationally syndicated columnist for the Washington Post Writers Group, author of A Darker Shade of Crimson, Odyssey of a Harvard Chicano. Ruben Navarrette joins us on the show. Ruben, good to talk to you again.
Ted, great to be with you.
Is this indeed, as some people have stated, irreversible and inevitable? No matter what you do, John Boehner can spit all he wants, but this is going to become the law of the land, and Republicans now have to start dealing with it from that aspect.
I don't think it's inevitable, because nothing with Barack Obama is inevitable. He has been dishonest and duplicitous and disingenuous when it comes to immigration all 6 years he's been in office. But it's also probably not irreversible in the sense that whoever the next president is will be asked immediately when they're campaigning for president to respond to this. Will you maintain and retain this order, or will you act to rescind it? It's really going to be a temporary order dependent on whoever's the next president. So I think both those things are true. It's not nearly as bad as the Republicans fear. It's not nearly as good as the Democrats and the folks on the left had hoped.
Ruben, what about the train wreck that's going to cause? Because if you make something an edict now, it goes into effect, and there are immigrants who are now becoming Americans. There are cards being given out, however you want to place it. Then you get to the point of basically saying, let's pull it all back. That's a disaster waiting to happen. It seems to me as if you're going to make things just a thousand times worse at that point.
Well, you're absolutely right. That is a disaster. But you remember in 2012, this was done on a much smaller scale with DACA, a Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, and a limited number of people, about 500,000 people or so. And it was already a campaign issue in 2012. So even though it would have wreaked havoc, we asked Mitt Romney, will you retain this? He said he'd rescind it. Obviously, Obama was going to keep it because he's the one who issued it. So it became an issue anyway in the campaign. And the same thing will happen now. It'll be an issue for 2016.
All right, let's take this now another step. Couple of minutes we have. Republicans have talked about two things. One is defunding the government. Here we go again, coming right down to a crash. The second thing being impeachment, if indeed the president does go ahead. In your opinion, are either one of those intelligent choices and logical choices?
You know what the answer is. Both of those are suicidal choices. The Republican Party, I think, has already proven it can't lead on the issue of immigration as on a lot of other issues. And, I think if they were serious about this, they would go after the root causes. And you'll never hear Republicans say they want to go after employers, because employers own businesses and contribute to Republicans to run for office. So they only like going after people who don't have a voice, the illegal immigrants who can't vote. And in a sense like this, you're right, it's suicidal, because if they go after impeachment, if they sue the president, or if they shut down the government, it'll all come back to haunt Republicans and certainly their chances in 2016.
Ruben, is it possible that the Republicans are being suckered in by the president and the Democrats right now and basically put, when you talk about the suicidal position, that they would be exactly where the Democrats want them as they get ready for 2016?
No, absolutely. Obama's done two things well on immigration in 6 years. He has teased those immigrant advocates who want him to do something. He has tormented Republicans. He doesn't have regard for either of those groups, but he manipulates them both. And this is clearly a trap he set for the Republicans. If they go into it, the first set of calls they're going to be getting are from Chris Christie, Marco Rubio, and others who are running for president in 2016 saying, thanks a lot, guys. You've just ensured that Hillary Clinton will become president.
20 seconds in. What should the Republicans be doing right now, in your opinion?
They should be working out some sort of a reasonable middle ground where you get work permits to some of these people and a guest worker program, which is what Republicans want, to make business happy, because Americans aren't doing those jobs. They should work out a compromise, and they should stop blustering.
But no reason to believe that the president would compromise, Ruben.
Right. There's no reason the president has to compromise, but on their end of it, they can appear to be the grown-ups in this discussion or the children. So far, it sounds like they've gone with the latter.
Grown-ups in the room. We've heard all that before, and you're right. Ruben Navarrette, always a pleasure to talk to you, my friend. Thanks so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.
All right, break. Coming back, telling it like it is, where we would never for a second consider to call anybody stupid because there are better words to use. It's coming up.